Emily Carter never thought her name could be stolen, until it was. One morning, a call from her bank shattered the quiet hum of her kitchen. Someone had drained her savings, taken loans in her name, and even filed taxes as her. Overnight, her life became a maze of fraud alerts, police reports, and unanswered questions. The woman who had once organized food drives and PTA meetings was now fighting just to prove she existed. If you believe true kindness always finds its way back, please tap the like button now and subscribe to support more stories like this. Months passed. The system moved slow. The bills didn't. Her credit collapsed. She couldn't buy a car, couldn't even rent a new apartment after her lease ended. "We can't verify your identity," the clerk had said, looking at her like she was the criminal. Emily cried that night in her car, parked behind a grocery store, clutching a folder of proof that no one seemed to care about. But one name kept appearing in the reports: Clara Jones, the woman who had used Emily's identity for over a year when Emily finally found a small lead, a post office box in a rundown part of Cleveland. She didn't know what she was looking for. Revenge? Closure? Maybe just a face to blame. A week later, she parked outside a thrift store near the address, her hands trembling on the steering wheel. The wind carried the smell of coffee and exhaust. Then she saw her, a thin woman in a faded coat, clutching a paper bag and looking terrified of the world. Emily followed her inside the store, heart pounding. When the woman turned, Emily froze. It wasn't the face she imagined. This wasn't a clever scam artist or a cold manipulator. Clara looked broken. Hollow eyes, shaking hands. She was trying to trade used shoes for store credit. Emily whispered, "You're Clara Jones." The woman's head jerked up. No, I don't know you." Her voice cracked like glass. "You used my name," Emily said softly. "You took everything from me." For a moment, Clara looked like she might run. Then her shoulders collapsed. "I didn't mean to ruin you," she murmured. "I just needed to eat. I was living under a bridge when I found your wallet. You looked happy in your driver's license photo. I thought maybe if I was you, I could be safe for a while." Emily felt her anger unravel in slow, painful threads. She wanted to scream, to tell her how hard she'd worked to rebuild, how humiliating it was to be treated like a liar in her own life. But instead, she saw something else. The same fear she'd seen in the mirror these past months. The fear of being invisible. They sat down on a cracked bench outside the store. Clara told her everything. How she'd aged out of foster care, lost her job during the pandemic, and had no ID, no social security card, no past to prove she existed. "I tried to get a real one," Clara said quietly, "but they said I needed a birth certificate, and I don't even know where I was born." Emily stared at her hands. It would have been so easy to call the police right then. But instead, she took a deep breath and said, "Come with me." In the weeks that followed, Emily did something no one could have predicted. She didn't press charges. Instead, she helped Clara get her own identity. They spent hours at the Social Security office, the DMV, even a community shelter that helped rebuild stolen lives. Emily used every contact she'd made while fighting her own case to help Clara start again, from scratch legally this time. It wasn't easy. People questioned her. Friends called her crazy. "You're helping the woman who destroyed you," one said. But Emily only answered, "She didn't destroy me. She showed me what being lost really looks like." A month later, Clara held a new ID in her trembling hands. For the first time, it had her real name. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered, "Thank you. I don't deserve this." Emily smiled softly. "Maybe not, but everyone deserves a chance to start over." That day, two women walked out of the county office together. One who had lost everything, and one who had finally found herself by giving someone else their name back. We'd love to hear your story. What is the most memorable act of unexpected kindness you have witnessed or received? Share it in the comments below. Months later, Clara sent Emily a letter. She'd found a job at a small diner and was saving to get her own apartment. At the bottom, she wrote, "You didn't just give me an identity, you gave me a reason to live honestly." Emily folded the letter, smiling through tears. She had spent so long fighting to reclaim her life. But maybe, just maybe, the real victory wasn't getting her name back. It was giving someone else the power to have their own. If this story touched your heart, please share it with someone who believes in second chances. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and spread kindness. It truly changes lives.